I'm sure you've heard about the movie New Jack City by now. Well, this week, the first hit from the soundtrack album debuts at number 31. The song, I Wanna Sex You Up, is by a group called Color Me Bad. Now that sure sounds like a name with attitude, so we asked the guys how they came up with it.
We don't like to put boundaries on anything, not racial, not sexual. Some people say, you know, I thought you were black when they heard the song to Brian as the lead singer and stuff. And that stuff just doesn't matter. We totally ignore it. We're just people singing and having a good time with our music and enjoying all of the success. So if you're going to color us anything at all, just color us bad.
TikTok, you don't stop to the...
Oh, yeah. Billboard's biggest hits.
This is AT40 with Shadoe. They used to sing a cappella, just their four voices, right on the streets of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Sam Waters, Mark Calderon, Brian Abrams, and Kevin KT Thornton are Color Me Bad. Sam and Mark told us how they've always been singing together for anybody who'd listen.
You see, we're from Oklahoma City, so as you know, there's not a lot of opportunity there to break into the business. So we used to sing a cappella for the groups that would come into town, and we sang for groups like Huey Lewis and Bon Jovi, the OJs, Troop, Sheila E.
Right.
And
Tony,
and Kool and the Gang, and we chased their bus down to the hotel. And when they were walking up to the hotel, everybody's all around, we just run up to them. Can we sing for you? Just
60 seconds each time.
You know what I'm saying? And they let us, and they were always cool. We haven't met somebody yet that wasn't cool about that.
Well, it's so great. So we just had to ask them for a sample of their a cappella. And we went searching for an echo, and we finally found one in the stairwell here at ABC Watermark. And here's what went down.
2, 3, 4. Ooh, ooh, ah. It's a thin line between love and hate. Ooh. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, yes, and a voice sweet and low says, fellas, yes, it is a thin line between love and hate. Ooh, yeah.
They really can sing. Color Me Bad's first hit climbs 5 to number 3 this week. I Wanna Sex You Up.
Hey, it's Sam from Color Me Bad. You can't go now. The countdown's just begun to number 1. And Shadoe will be back with more great music on American Top 40.
Around the world with a shadow.
Now, the group at number 37 is quite a story behind it. They were from 2 different sides of the tracks in Oklahoma City. And we'll let them tell us the story of Color Me Bad.
Mark and Sam were from the north side of town. Brian and I were from the south side of town. We all got together in high school, and we just became friends first. And since we love to sing, we just thought it might be interesting if we tried to, hook up together.
There was a talent show coming up, and instead of going against each other and everything, we all decided to come together for that, first time.
That's right.
And our friendship just it really came together well. We'd sing in the hallways at lunchtime. We started, hanging out after school and practicing harmony because we all love to do the same thing.
Dream on, dream away.
Last month, the group at number 23 took home an American Music Award for Best R&B or Soul Single. And I'm sure it's just the first of many big awards to go home with Color Me Bad. They told AT40 how it felt.
The guy from CNC Music Factory was announcing the winner of the award that we won. And it was between us and a Boys to Men, a group that we admire very much. And he said, and the winner is...
I bet you want to know, don't you?
Like, yes, what are you saying already? Hey, it's our homies. And I was like, do they know Boys to Men? Oh, what's he talking about? Who is it? But then he said us. I was like, phew, I lost it right there on TV. Yo, what's up? This is Sam.
And this is Brian
From Color Me Bad. And don't touch that dial, because Shadoe has more of the week's biggest Billboard hits to count down, plus a whole lot more. American Top 40 will return after this.
Shadoe. Count 'em down. Count 'em down.
Yes, we're heading into the third hour of hits on American Top 40. With 19 to go, here's what's coming up. We'll visit with Color Me Bad. Here's another one at number 17 by Color Me Bad. Now, they may be one of the hottest singing acts of the 1990s, but some of their inspirations go back 20, 30 years.
We like to go back to the old school and, learn from that. And we were at the BRE convention. We performed there, but in rehearsal, the Dells were there, and we got to sing for them, and it was almost a tearjerker. I mean, I just had to hold back, singing for people that we actually admired and idolized. And Sam and Dave was there, and he gave us a lot of great advice. And it was just a real touching story and a great moment in Color Me Bad's life.
Yeah, we sang one of their tunes at our senior prom.
And then afterwards, it's like, I can't believe it. Wait a minute. I just sung with such and such and such and such. And that was great.
Hi, this is Sam from Color Me Bad. Hey, Shadoe, how about a full-color bad old AT40 flashback?
Hey, no problem. We just drop the coin in, crank her up, and away we go. The Wayback Machine pitches and rolls in the whirling winds of time as calendar pages flit backwards in a dizzy blur for another AT40 flashback.
American Top 40.
You like commercials? Like them or not, you're not going to get away from them. They pay our bills, okay? Besides, a lot of them are real interesting. And one commercial in particular inspired the hot group at number 20 to get together in the first place. Brian from Color Me Bad explained it.
The first commercial that we had heard with a cappella, I don't know if you remember, it was four guys standing on the street corner. The string to fit and a button fly. Well, we heard that, and we decided to get together and, throw on our jean jackets and go and do that for a talent show, like reenact the commercial. We did that for fun, and it went over really well with the school, so that kind of got us into the a cappella thing. We were all into music and into singing, but we didn't actually ever do it together, the four of us, so that's when we decided to do it ourselves, and it went really well, so we just kind of continued to do it from then on.
Hey, it's Sam from Color Me Bad. You can't go now, the countdown's just begun to number 1, and Shadoe will be back with more great music on American Top 40.
American Top 40. Please hold.
At 82 in American Top 40's Top 100 of 92 is the first of 4 songs from Color Me Bad.
The song is just really smooth and mellow. It's the kind of song that you like to play and just, lay back, in your bedroom or on the couch and just listen and think about, the good old times. Maybe you're with a friend or someone that was special to you. And then the lyrics are pretty much the same thing. It's just talking about thinking back and like reminiscing, I guess, Yo, what's up, everybody? We're Color Me Bad. And here's the guy who counts down only the baddest hits every week. Shadoe Stevens on American Top 40.
Thanks, guys. All for one for all for love. Color Me Bad with the year's 4th biggest hit. Coming up, the top 3 of 1992.
American Top 40.
Hey, everybody, this is Brian.
This is Sam, and we're from Color Me Bad.
AT40's music news is on the way right after this.
Oh, yeah, baby bubba.
Can you dig it?
Hi, this is Kasem. Only 2 years ago, 4 unknown singers from Oklahoma City had a daring plan to get famous. They'd audition for visiting pop stars by singing a cappella outside their hotel rooms. Amazingly, the plan worked, and Color Me Bad was on its way. This week marks a big milestone for the quartet. Since Color Me Bad hit the survey 52 weeks ago, there hasn't been a single day without one of their songs on our countdown. Will CMB stretch their record to a year and a week? Find out as we count down the biggest hits in the USA on Casey's Top 40.
Casey's Top 40.
I'm Casey Kasem. Well, now we're up to the song called Choose. It's by Color Me Bad, a vocal quartet that sold millions and millions of albums, yet surprisingly, they still all share an apartment. Over the years, we've heard about a number of groups sharing the rent to both save money and get their sound together. Acts like In Vogue, crowded house, and the band called The Band. Usually, once they make it, the individual members get their own places, but not the four members of the very successful group called Color Me Bad. When they moved to New York City from Oklahoma, the team of Brian Abrams, Kevin Thornton, Mark Calderon, and Sam Waters all lived together in the same inexpensive apartment. They did it simply because they couldn't afford anything else. While they were waiting for auditions, they spent every moment they could in their crowded walk-up apartment in a bad part of town, polishing their voices and working on their harmonies. Then they sold over 2 million copies of the single I Want to Sex You Up and 3 million copies of their debut album titled CMB. The money started rolling in, and they knew they could afford to move. But instead of getting 4 different apartments, they decided they didn't want to mess with the secret of their success, their togetherness. So they got a big new apartment in a nicer part of town. To this day, they still live together, working on their songs and rehearsing their vocals. They just do it in much nicer surroundings, and they say they have no plans to change because they're convinced living together has been an important part of their success. This week, that success continues as their 8th Top 40 hit jumps 7 notches to number 16 on Casey's Top 40. Here's Color Me Bad and Choose.
Anything you want me to, I will live or die, you choose. Casey's Top 40.
I'm Casey Kasem. Well, now we're up to our biggest mover. It's by Color Me Bad, a vocal quartet that was once banned from singing at their Oklahoma City high school because their hallway harmonies were a fire hazard. It all started when high school students Brian Abrams, Mark Calderon, Kevin Thornton, and Sam Waters discovered their common interest in singing the tight harmonies of doo-wop music. Excited by their sound, the 4 teenagers sang together anytime and any place they could, especially at school. And one of their favorite places to sing was in the school's hallways in between classes. They loved the halls because the walls created a great echo. At first, they sang quietly to themselves in a corner, but soon they started to attract the attention of their classmates. And after a short time, those informal hallway practice sessions turned into full lunchtime concerts. One particular day, the hallway where they were singing was so packed with kids that the school officials had to clamp down. They feared that in case of a fire, there'd be a major tragedy. So the hallway concerts were banned. But that didn't stop Brian, Mark, Kevin, and Sam. They continued to perfect their sound, and when they were good enough, they managed to get a recording contract. Over the years, Color Me Bad has had 7 top 10 hits, including their number 1 smash, I Adore Me Amore. And this week, the vocal quartet continues their winning ways, soaring 11 strong notches to number 26 on Casey's Top 40. Here's Color Me Bad with this week's biggest mover, the earth, the sun, the rain.
Casey's Top 40.
Well, now we're up to the latest hit for Color Me Bad. They're a 4-man vocal group whose members say they're not just singing partners, they're also best friends. Brian Abrams, Mark Calderon, Kevin Thornton, and Sam Waters have known each other since they were high school students in Oklahoma City. That's when they started singing together wherever and whenever they could, even in the hallways of their high school. They became close friends back then, and all along their road to stardom, they've become even more than friends. Sam Waters says, quote, "We've been poor together, we've been successful together. We're really more like brothers than friends," unquote. The members of the group say that when one of them gets involved with a woman, they all talk about the relationship and where it's going. And when one of them gets sick, they all know they'll be there for each other. Mark Calderon says, quote, "We don't even live in the same city anymore, but that doesn't stop us from talking by phone every day. We're never very far out of touch. We understand how much we need each other." This week, the 4 singers who feel like close friends and family are singing Close Harmony on their 9th Top 40 hit.
America's Top Hits.
7 years ago this week, back in 1991, one of the top hits in the USA was All for Love by a vocal group that landed a job opening for John Bon Jovi after auditioning for him at a movie popcorn stand in Oklahoma City. That's where 2 of the group's members were working when they spotted John heading in to see a movie on his day off between performances. They quickly called the other 2 members of the group, and when John emerged from the film, they begged him for just 60 seconds to show him what they could do. They sang an a cappella song for John, and he was impressed. So impressed, he invited them to sing a couple of songs the next night before his opening act. That was the start of the career that led to one of the top hits in the USA 7 years ago this week. Here's Color Me Bad with All for Love.